Welcome to MapleWoodian.com podcast. We have on the phone Tom Pasciuti. How you doing, Tom?
I'm good, Joe. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for talking to us. Of course, you are chair of the Maplewood 4th of July committee. And how long have you been involved in the committee?
I've been involved in the committee about 8 years, 15 with the Civic Association. A lot of people aren't aware that the 4th of July event is actually run by the Maplewood Civic Association.
Absolutely. And the website to go get information is maplewoodcivic.org.
Maplewoodcivic.org.
And we also have a lot of information on our site. But, of course, we're coming up on the big day, and there's a lot of changes. It looks like, and again, we've been writing about this, and people can see at the website, maplewoodcivic.org, but essentially there's going to be more fenced-in area that people are going to require a ticket. Why don't you kind of go over what you see as the big changes and why?
All right, so a lot of the changes came about as our attempt to broaden the programming so that people that took advantage of the circus shows we have during the day could do other things before or after, have other activities, and also for people that maybe did not participate in the circus, maybe their kids were grown, they still want to come and participate in the day's events. So we built other programming that goes on alongside. So there's actually a full day of programming from 8 o'clock in the morning straight through to the fireworks conclusion.
And in the past, the fenced-off area had been, well, years ago, it was the, I guess, north side of the park between the basketball court and tennis courts and Oakview Avenue. That had been the firework viewing area, but then it was moved to the south side, which would be essentially Oakview to Baker Street and Valley Street. And now it is both of those areas are fenced off, and you need a ticket to enter after 12 noon.
So actually, we'll be enforcing wristbands starting at 10 a.m.
10 a.m., because originally the thought was noon, at least early on when the early discussions.
Right, so there are morning activities.
Okay.
If anyone gets onto the field for any of the activities that start at 9 o'clock, the kids' race is hosted by the YMCA or the baking contest or any of our perennial favorites that happen first thing in the morning.
Right.
They'll be able to enter the grounds without a wristband. However, if they leave the grounds and re-enter again after 10 a.m., they would need a wristband at that point. And most of the participants we have end up purchasing a wristband anyway, so this would just be a time saver if they were to get it ahead of time, either through our website or to get it first thing in the morning. It'll avoid the lines that build later in the day.
And there will not be tickets anymore. It'll be a wristband.
Right. So that's
a new thing, correct?
It is. It's a new initiative to help with crowd flow. It helps law enforcement identify paid ticket holders. It moves people through the gates faster. And while the tags were certainly nostalgic, they weren't functional anymore because the tags had string, and they'd be an encumbrance if people actually use the string and affix them to their waistband or wherever they put them. We'd have to remove them when they were coming back into the gate. So the wristband, they can wear them all day. They have free access to come and go as they please.
Oh, that's a good idea. So now the events before 10 a.m., there's the 5K at 7:30. There's the opening ceremonies and bike race at 8 and 8:15, and that is down in Maplewood Village at Carlton Square. And
the kickoff to our day's event is at 8 a.m. with the opening ceremonies, followed by the kids' bike race. Technically, the first planned activity of the event is the 5K race.
Right.
You know, those 5K runners like to get early.
Oh, yes. You got to get up when it's still nice, not too hot.
Right. So that starts at 9. That starts at 7:30 in the morning.
And then there's the kids' running races is at 9 a.m.
Right. The Y has been has had a growing presence on our fairgrounds for the last few years.
Excellent.
And their signature activity is the kids' race. There's an assortment of kids' dashes and races that happen. It's a lot of fun.
So all of those, again, you can do without a wristband because they're before 10 a.m.
Right. And I would remind anyone listening that the concept of the wristband, we've always had a policy of purchasing tags to support the day's activities, but we just never actually enforced it until the afternoon in years past.
Right.
So this is more of an enforcement issue. The policy has never actually changed. It's always been we need those wristbands to support the day's events. It does cost money to launch fireworks and to have a circus on the grounds and all the other activities. So this is a way to just spread the cost out and help everybody participate in the way they can.
And then after 10 a.m., you need a wristband. But also, we got to make clear the tennis courts and playground and basketball courts on the north side will all be open all day without needing a wristband, because there were some people saying, hey, we can't go to the park. Well, that's not true. This area you can go to, correct?
Right. So there will be a significant area of the park that is available to the public without needing a wristband.
Right.
Including those tennis courts you mentioned. The recreation department is hosting their perennial tennis contest.
Yes, I see that.
Part of our event. Yeah.
And we remind everyone who go to maplewoodcivic.org. There's a great map and list of all the events. And then when we get into the day events, obviously we have the circus, 1 o'clock, 3:30, and 6 p.m. And anyone who's never been to that circus is missing out, because it is a great. Not only is it great because it's right in town, but you really are just in the middle of the circus. You're so close, like the old-time circuses. You're not sitting up in the upper level of Madison Square Garden or something, like for Ringling Brothers or some of these other circuses. You're really on the ground. It's really fun.
You're right. Every seat is close. You're right about that.
And then, of course, you have the relays, the nighttime music, and the fireworks about 9:15. And then there's a big events tent now where it looks like there are things that were going on at Town Hall, at the Woodland, the baking contest, the ice cream eating contest. They're all going to be in this one big event tent. Tell us about that.
Right. So that's another significant change from last year. The Woodland has been used for 2 years running as their staging ground for a lot of the activities that could benefit from a roof, like the ice cream eating and the baking contest. It was originally a rain venue. And it just turned into, well, let's use it again the next year.
Sure. But
the problem with that is it did create a separation between the Woodland and the rest of the fairgrounds. So with this big event tent, we can bring everything under one roof right on the field of Memorial Park, actually the south field,
right,
where the tent would be. And it's not a small tent. When we call it a big event tent, we mean big. It's 40 by 100 feet. It will actually have a larger surface area than the circus tent.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So it'll be multiple activities going on at the same time. Just to give you some idea of the different events, we'll have Sam Mash hosting a Be Your Own DJ event. There'll be a DJ on staff all day long to let people spin their own music for a few minutes.
Ooh.
People's Got Talent will happen on the stage right in the big event tent. Karaoke will be going on. The baking contest. Some of these will actually be going on simultaneously. It's that big a tent. So there'll be a lot going on. The balloon artists, face painting, henna artists, hair braiding, pancake eating contest, all those things all happen in the big event tent. So it's not an exaggeration to say there's a lot happening. It's a very, very big tent.
And then it says here, food court and amusements. Now, is the food court any different than in the past, or is that more food?
Well, I will tell you, it is a big enhancement because we actually have a food court. In past years, our concessions have been primarily run by the circus, which would be all on the north field. And then we had the Boy Scouts and an ice cream truck on the south field.
Right.
This year, we have a food court of a dozen different food vendors.
A dozen different vendors.
And
they'll be there all day and even right before the fireworks?
Right, they'll be operating all day long right through the fireworks.
Yum.
And that's in addition to all of the traditional circus concessions. So this isn't in place of the circus concessions. This is adding to it. So there's really going to be a lot of food options, different ethnic cuisines. We've done a good job of not having a lot of duplication. So when I say a dozen vendors, they'll be selling different food products.
Wow, who are the food court people? Are they local eateries that come and set up stand, or is it a big food court all run by the same people? What sort of the different options?
So each food vendor is their own business. We have a mix of vendors that come from distances and those that are local. St. James Gate is one of our local vendors. They'll be serving lobster rolls in their tent. In their food station, we'll have the Maplewood Grill is another of our local vendors.
Sure.
And we have a number of other vendors coming in from other areas. Susie Q's, a local barbecue.
Sure. This sounds like a lot of the vendors that we see at Maple Woodstock. They have a pretty good food court.
Yeah, Maple Woodstock has been a great friend to us.
Yeah.
They've actually helped us with getting our food court.
So it sounds like a lot more food on site than in the past.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure people had a way to be entertained and fed all day long. And if they want a hamburger, they can get one like any other year, during any other year. But there's also other options, too. A lot of food.
And then the amusements, isn't that kind of like an arcade gallery? Kind of a row of arcade games like down you see down the shore? Or
Yeah, so we'll have some of the classic boardwalk games, the games of chance. They could play just like they would on the boardwalk. There'll also be some bounce houses. There's a fun house and a high striker, which is the game you play with, the mallet. You hit the mallet to see how high you can. I don't know how to describe the high striker. Hopefully people know. Yeah, you ring a bell. You ring a bell with it. So things like that. The amusement company is also providing a dunk tank, and the dunk tank is going to be hosted by the South Orange Rescue Squad as a fundraiser. So I would put a plug in for that. Anyone that comes to our fairgrounds, help support the South Orange Rescue Squad's new building, their new Rescue Squad building, and they always are great friends of Maplewood. They provide mutual aid to the town year-round.
And isn't there going to be a few celebrity people to be dunked? Certain public officials?
We have
That's the way we always see it.
Yes, a growing list of local dignitaries that will be getting dunked. So,
if you want to take out your high tax bill on someone, this is the time to do it, right?
Absolutely.
Well, that's great.
They're happy to do it. They're great sports about it.
Absolutely. And now let's get back to the money. So the wristbands, there's two prices as there has been in the past. Those are not going up. $10 for just the fireworks and $15 for the fireworks plus everything else.
Right. So how we've been marketing it is essentially it's $10 for all access. That gets you a wristband that gets you into all the activities with the exception of the circus. For an additional $5, you can add a circus performance.
I see.
In the growing list of enhancements for this year, this is the first year somebody can actually pick their own showtime. So no more having to wait in line. Yeah, that's a huge thing. If you want to be able to plan your day, it's good to know ahead of time.
So to be clear, you can go to everything for $10 except the circus.
Absolutely.
I think in the past it had been kind of the opposite. That the thought was you're paying $10 for fireworks, and if you want to go to the circus, an extra, it's $15. But
right,
but the way it's people should understand it. If you don't want to go to the circus, it's $10 for everything else.
Right.
Right. And if you want to go, it's $15.
Yes, and we are offering. Yeah.
No, I was going to get to the discount. I know if you go online, and there's a link at the MaplewoodCivic.org that says "Buy tickets now." You can order online, and I know if you buy 4 tickets, you save $5 on each, or can you save $5 on even just one ticket?
Yeah, so what we're doing, it's the discounts are as an incentive to encourage families to bring their kids. You can buy a 4-pack. If you buy a 4-pack of regular price tickets, we will throw in the circus for free.
If you buy a 4-pack of tickets, they are $5 off each, and that essentially is because the circus is free.
Right, basically.
Okay.
And then the other option would be if you buy a 4-pack of all-access passes but don't want the circus, we'll throw in a 5th ticket for free.
So you can get 5 tickets for the price of 4 just for fireworks.
Yes.
5 tickets for fireworks only. But again, it's not really fireworks only because it's everything else except the circus.
Right. Even back to the music, you mentioned the evening music. The music actually starts early this year from 2 o'clock on. The entire day, 7 hours.
So we have more music than in the past as well.
Yeah, we booked some signature headliners. Park Avenue will be performing for 3 hours. Jersey Girls is coming. We've got a number of acts performing throughout the day.
But you can buy that in advance, and you can save the price of one ticket. But then you can also buy single ticket fireworks without the circus and fireworks with the circus in advance online as well. But there's no discount for that, it looks like.
Right, all through MaplewoodCivic.org. Essentially, if you buy a fireworks pass without the circus, you automatically get everything throughout the day included.
Right.
You get
people should understand that.
Field. Sure. And obviously the amusement zone, if you want to participate in the carnival games or the bounce houses, there'll be a separate fee for that. But there's a lot of free activities included in your admission, like the face painting will be included. We have caricaturists included. henna artist included, Maplewood Got Talent, all that is included in your admission.
Now, when you buy the 4-packs, it looks like you can buy for a specific circus performance, 1 o'clock, 3:30, or 6.
Yes.
Now, does that get you ahead of waiting in line, or does that just get you, are you selling only a certain number of tickets for each show?
Yeah, so basically you won't need to wait in line. You can simply just know your show time. I would advise getting there a few minutes early so you give yourself time for seating. But you can enjoy the festival atmosphere and not have to stand in a line when you know you're getting in already. The shows will not be oversold, so once you have your ticket, you know you're getting in.
Can you do that for the, if you buy a single ticket online?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't see a certain show marked for those. I only see for the multiple ticket buying.
There should be an option to buy a ticket for every showtime on our website. The 1, 3:30, and 60 and.
Oh yes, there is. Okay, I see that now. So, and then basically, if you want to go 3:30, you buy your ticket, say today, a day before the 4th. This all looks like you can do all this advanced purchasing up till 6 o'clock on Sunday night.
Yeah, or unless if the circus shows sell out beforehand, and we are having some brisk ticket sales.
Oh, so you buy early, and you might not even get in if you don't buy early.
Right. We'd encourage people. The tickets will be available at the gate, provided there are still tickets available.
So that's even more of an incentive to buy in advance.
Yeah, and even though you don't have to stand in line, I'd still encourage people to get there early because the circus doesn't allow late seating. It would interrupt the performances for the patrons there. So get there early anyway, but you'll still be able to enjoy the festival grounds instead of having to wait online.
But basically, if you buy a ticket for the 3:30 show, let's say, in advance, you have your seat. If you
right, as long as you arrive by the time.
Right, you're not. We're assuming you arrive on time, or more preferably early.
Right, correct.
That's a great improvement as well. Now, where do you get your wristband if you buy online?
So the wristbands will be issued at the gates, at any of the 4 gates to get into the festival grounds. All you have to do is to show on your phone or print out a receipt, and we'll scan the barcode to get you in and affix the wristband as you enter.
And once you get the wristband, you got it all day. You can come and go as much as you want.
That's absolutely right.
To the gated areas. Now, let's tell people, again, all the fireworks and the circus, all the 4th of July activities are funded not by the township. There's no tax money. There is no township funding for these events, correct?
Right. So Maplewood, the township is a great partner in the.
Yeah. Oh, they do a lot to help, but the money comes from the tickets.
Right. For the cost of the actual activities, the things like the launching of the fireworks and the circus itself, those things are paid by the ticket sales.
Right.
People purchasing a wristband. That's what funds those activities.
Now, what do those cost? What do the fireworks cost this year?
We're talking about it's $16,000.
$16,000 just for the fireworks.
Yeah.
And then the circus is how much?
So the circus has a contract based on concession sales.
Right, because they sell their own stuff.
Right.
They sell souvenirs and food and things. Okay.
Exactly right. But
so how's that based on then?
It adds up. I mean, you're talking about expenses. If you add up the expense of the day, it's in excess of $40,000 to produce this event. And again, the sole source of that funding for that budget comes from these wristband sales.
So what is the circus, Zerbini Family Circus, and they've been here for many years, what do they charge to have the circus there?
So the circus contract is determined based on the ticket sales, and once the concessions are added up at the end of the day, that's why I mean it's a bit of a complicated contract.
I see. So they get a cut of. They see how many tickets are sold, and then how much concessions they sell.
Right.
They report that.
They give us a discount based on their anticipated concessions.
I see. So the more people who go, and the more they buy from the circus, the cheaper it is for the town.
Right.
Yeah. And then again, you have other costs for the games and for all the events. And then do you have to pay the town for police and or sanitation and other costs, or does the town cover those costs?
So the answer is both. The township funds funds the police department personnel that are on site during the day.
Right.
The ticket sales help pay for some of the other costs, like the public restrooms, the
Right, because we have to have the ported toilets.
Right. The DPW personnel that are on staff during the day.
Right.
The fencing that has to get erected for safety reasons and for crowd control to make sure that fireworks launch area is safe. So all those things, they all get funded by the wristband sales.
Okay. So you were talking
even the digital signs and the light towers and all the safety apparatus that are there. A lot of that does come from the sale of wristbands. It helps support the cost of all that.
So the fireworks is about $16,000, but the overall cost to put this on is $40,000, more or less.
It'd be when everything's added up, it'd be north of $40,000. Yeah.
Now, in the past, have the tickets covered that cost, or have you lost money, or had a little left over? How has that worked in the last couple of years? Again, this is a new approach, but in the past, has it made money or lost money, or kind of broken even?
Yeah, so we've been fortunate that our ticket sales have grown over the last couple of years. And
Excellent.
We're expecting that to continue, that trend to continue this year. So we have been able to meet all of our expenses.
Good.
And we always have to have an emergency reserve in the event of, the biggest problem we would have is Mother Nature. If we get rained out one year, it could damage ticket sales.
Yeah, because you get fewer people.
Yeah, we have a rain date of July 5th, but let's face it, fireworks on July 5th just don't feel the same.
But it looks, and our initial weather is looking good for Monday at this point. We had some big rainstorms Friday, but it looks like Monday looks pretty clear, right?
I think the fact that we had such heavy rain yesterday was a good sign. It got it out of the system, and the last 2 years we've had overcast weather on the 4th itself, so I think the law of averages is in our favor. It's sunny skies ahead.
And what are the tickets? How many people have bought tickets in the last couple of years, average?
So we've averaged about 4,000 ticket sales in past years. This is our first year actually selling tickets online. So,
Excellent.
So we have no track record in doing that in the past. So,
do you know how many have been sold online as of now, or you don't know yet?
So our most recent numbers from this morning look like we're around 1,200 tickets sold already, but the sales are picking up as the weekend starts.
Yes.
So.
And it pays to get them early because, like you said, they can be sold out. There hasn't been a big promotion of the online sales, it seems.
Yeah, we tried to get the word out. We're always open to input from the community on how to best promote the event. We put a full page ad in Matters Magazine, which went to all Maplewood and South Orange residents. Matters also devoted 2 additional pages to promotion. So 3 pages of content in that magazine alone. They've been a good partner for the event and getting the word.
Well, we'll certainly do our share, and hopefully we'll get up to that 4,000 and higher level. And then you mentioned something. You wanted to mention something about volunteers are still needed.
Volunteers are the backbone of the entire event. We couldn't run it without our volunteer. Our committee has been super generous for their time. It's a year-round planning effort, and so they're super dedicated. But then, in addition to that, we need a new crew of volunteers for the day itself. Anything from ticket taking to circus admissions to running our concessions tent to helping with the big events tent and all the activities going underneath. Info guides. We even have a jitney service running for free from South Orange to Maplewood. It's our first venture with that. Anyone that lives in South Orange can just take a free jitney straight to...
So you're recruiting people from South Orange to come in?
Well, sure. It's more or less an acknowledgement of what's been the case for years now. We've had a growing audience from South Orange.
Yeah.
There isn't. Our neighbors don't have actual fireworks display, so we're happy to welcome them aboard. And we actually have members of our planning committee that are South Orange residents. So it's always been a joint community effort, even if it's called the Maplewood 4th of July.
And how many people do you have? How many volunteers do you have lined up for Monday? And how many more do you need if people want to give their time?
So in terms of total hours, it takes more than 300 volunteer hours to run the day.
Ooh. And
so we ask for a minimum commitment of 3 hours, but we have more dedicated volunteers that are able to put in full day efforts. But we understand it's a holiday and not everybody can commit an entire day. But for a minimum 3-hour commitment, they can participate. We'll give them a volunteer T-shirt. We'll celebrate at our post-event volunteer party afterwards, and it's a lot of fun during the day. If you enjoy the 4th of July, if you enjoy the event, it's a really great opportunity.
If people want to volunteer, how do they offer their time? They email or phone you, or what's the best way to reach out?
So the best way in every case is to go to maplewoodcivic.org, click the link to volunteer. You can complete a volunteer sign-up. It takes less than 2 minutes. You just have to put your name, phone number, and email, and indicate the times you're available, and then you're good to go. Pretty much anything you want to do in advance of the event, you can do through the website. Buying tickets, entering the baking contest, registering your car if you want to participate in the car show.
Oh, yeah, we didn't mention the car show. That's another new thing. How many cars are there going to be there?
Yeah, so we have over 30 registered cars.
Oh, my God, that's going to be fun.
And we got a great mix of cars. We're anticipating a lot more than that come on site the day of. But everything from classic cars to hot rods, motorcycle trophies will be issued. We've got a couple of showcase vehicles. The American Graffiti car will be on
That's
site.
the rumor I heard, and I'm a big fan. That's the John Milner car that he ran the drag race in at the end of the movie, for those who might recall.
And the Batmobile, for those
The Batmobile is there as well.
And I'm told this will be a Batmobile people can actually sit in. It won't be cordoned off, so you can actually sit inside the Batmobile.
And how long does the car show go on? From when to when?
So the car show will be from 10 to 3:30.
Okay.
And for car show participants, we're asking them to arrive between 9:30 and 10.
People who want to show off their cars, you say?
Right, to show off the car. We're offering free registration. As our first year doing this, we want to roll out the red carpet, so anyone that's got a classic vehicle or anything that they can showcase, they can register for free online and park their car in Memorial Park on Monday.
And then do volunteers get any free admission or no?
Well, sure. As part of volunteering, you'll be issued a special wristband that'll give you access.
So if you want to save some money and help out at the same time, and that's another reason to volunteer.
Sure, as long as we ask for the 3-hour commitment.
Right, so and I see on the website you can check off the 3 hours. It looks pretty flexible, from 7:30 till 7:30 a.m. for 3 hours. Any time span in there up till 7:30 at night for 3 hours. It looks like.
Absolutely.
So you
can
a lot of our
find some time. Yeah, and a lot of our first-time volunteers that aren't sure what to expect, they sometimes just check off a minimum time commitment, and once they're there, they ask, can they stay longer? And we'd love to have you stay longer. So it's that much fun that oftentimes our one-shift volunteers turn into 2 or 3-shift volunteers.
And again, it's going to be a great weather day and a lot of new fun events. I think a lot of people are going to like the changes because you are offering more and not charging more. Just requiring the charge earlier, and I think, again, the wristband is also a great idea because then it's just less of a hassle. And
I would say, while not everybody is going to purchase a block of tickets, anyone that does buy group passes online ahead of time will actually be paying less than they did.
Yes, that's a good important thing, that you save money buying online in advance.
And for everybody else, the price has not changed.
Right.
It's the same $10 admission, and we are offering more on the South Field alone.
Oh, a lot more, it looks like.
For the entire event last year. So there's so much more to do to justify the ticket purchase and encourage people to check it out, and they're going to have a great time.
Excellent. Well, thank you. This has been talking to Tom Pasciuti, chairman of the 4th of July Committee, Maplewood Civic Association, that's running the great Maplewood 4th of July event on Monday from morning to night. And it looks like a lot more fun things. Again, go to maplewoodcivic.org for all the information, listing of things, volunteering, and again, most important, to buy your tickets in advance because, as we've been talking about, this runs upwards of $40,000, and it's all by the tickets that are sold. There is no township input funding-wise. There is no taxpayer money used. This is all reliant on your donations, which is essentially what they are, and your ticket fees. Even if you're not going to go, if you're watching from your back porch, I've heard a lot of people say that, you can buy and donate as well, because the fireworks still cost the same whether you watch them inside the fence or outside the fence, because the fireworks don't discriminate. They make us pay, and it's always a great show. So even if you're not even coming in, or if you're not even going to be in town and you want to donate to a town cause, that's a good reason. Buy some passes for someone else. or if you're going to watch from your own property or your own back deck, you can also buy and donate because you're taking advantage of it as well, and it's always a good time. Well, thank you very much, Tom.
Well, thank you, Joe. We appreciate everyone's support, and we look forward to seeing you all on the board.
Yes, sir. Be well.